As you grow older, your body may slow down, but your soul, it begins to awaken. You no longer crave noise, you crave peace. You no longer chase people, you seek truth. But here's a painful reality, not everyone deserves a seat in your peace. Sometimes the people you must walk away from are the very ones you once walked through fire for. The Buddha said, if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. In this powerful lesson, you'll discover 5 types of people you must avoid in old age, even if they're family, not out of hate, but out of wisdom, out of self-respect, out of love for your own spirit. Let's begin. 1. The constant complainer. They walk into the room and suddenly the energy changes. Everything is wrong. The weather, the food, the government, their past, your past, life itself. Sound familiar? The Buddha once said, what you dwell upon, you become. And if you surround yourself with constant complainers, guess what? Their storm becomes your sky. You don't need that, not in your old age. You've earned your peace. You've survived your battles. Why should someone else's negativity be the soundtrack to your golden years? Being around a chronic complainer is like sipping poison, drop by drop. It doesn't kill right away, but it slowly steals your joy, your light, your calm. Even if it's someone close, a relative, a lifelong friend, even your own child, you have every right to set boundaries. You are not a dumping ground for bitterness. You are a temple of wisdom, of silence, of stillness. And your space should reflect that. In this chapter of your life, choose peace over pity, silence over shouting, light over complaint. Let them go or let them complain alone. 2. The manipulator. They walk into your life not with open hands, but with invisible strings. They say the right words. I care about you. I'm just looking out for you. You're the only one I can trust. But somehow, after every conversation that you feel tired, used, trapped. That's not love, that's manipulation dressed in loyalty. These people are not always obvious. They may be your own children, a lifelong friend, even a partner, but their closeness is a mask, and behind it is control. They don't come to share joy. They come to harvest your guilt. They remind you of how much they've done for you, how much they've sacrificed, and slowly they twist your heart into a debt you never asked for. The Buddha taught the path of right intention. An action is only pure if the heart behind it is clear, honest, and free of self-serving motives. Manipulators don't love you for you. They love you for what you can do for them. And when you no longer serve their purpose, they vanish, or worse, turn you into the villain in their story. In old age, you must become the guardian of your peace. You have spent a lifetime giving, raising, supporting, sacrificing, forgiving. Now, your peace is sacred, and sacred things must be protected. Ask yourself, would this person still visit if I had no money, no influence, no resources left to give? If your silence, your time, your simple presence is not enough for them, then they are not coming for love. They are coming for something else. And you must learn to say no. No to guilt, no to pressure, no to being emotionally manipulated into service when your soul just wants to rest. Release them, not with anger, but with wisdom. Let them go with love, but do not let them return with chains. You don't need to argue. You don't need to explain. You don't even need to make them understand. Because in the end, you are not here to carry other people's shadows. You are here to walk in your own light. 3. The disrespectful. A quiet wound, a loud truth. There's a kind of pain that doesn't leave bruises. It doesn't shout. It doesn't break bones. But it breaks something deeper, something sacred. It's called disrespect. And it often comes from the people we once sacrificed everything for. You've lived a lifetime. You've endured losses, made hard choices, watched decades unfold like waves. Yet now, in your later years, there are those who look at you and see someone too old to matter. They speak to you like you're fragile, confused, or slow. They interrupt you when you speak. They joke about your age, as if growing old is something shameful instead of something heroic. They take your silence for weakness, your patience for irrelevance, and sometimes they don't speak to you at all. They leave you out of conversations. They make decisions about your life without even asking you, as if you've become invisible in the very home you helped build. The Buddha never judged age by appearance. He taught that wisdom is not loud, but deep, and those who cannot honor it are blind, no matter how young they are. Disrespect is not just rude. It's a form of spiritual violence. It says, you don't matter anymore. You've lived your life. Now step aside. But let this be said clearly. You are not done. Your presence is not a problem. Your words are not outdated. And your very existence is still a light, whether others choose to see it or not. If someone cannot speak to you with kindness, if they roll their eyes when you remember the past, if they silence your stories, dismiss your beliefs, or mock your age, you must let them go, even if they share your blood, because love without respect is not love. It's manipulation wrapped in tradition. And no tradition is more important than your peace. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to choose silence over humiliation. It's okay to choose less company with more compassion. In Buddhism, there's a teaching: associate with the wise, avoid the foolish. Respect is the root of peace. So surround yourself with people who pause when you speak, who ask questions, who value your memories, who don't just see your wrinkles, they see your wisdom. You are not in the way. You are the way. You are the bridge between generations. You are the firekeeper, the storyteller, the quiet strength in the room. So walk with your head high, not in pride, but in dignity. And remember, disrespect may come from others, but it must never come from yourself. 4. The greedy, when love is measured in inheritance. They don't always knock loudly. Sometimes they walk in gently, with soft voices, polite words, warm smiles. But if you listen closely, if you watch carefully, you'll realize something. They're not here for you. They're here for what you have. The greedy don't always look like strangers. Often, they wear the face of family. They might be your child, your niece, a cousin, or even an old friend. And they approach you with concern. But that concern is calculated. Every visit has a purpose. Every phone call leads to a question. So, what are you planning to do with your house? Have you thought about updating your will? You know, we've always helped you. Maybe you could put my name on the papers. It doesn't start suddenly. It creeps in. At first you think they're being helpful. Then you start to notice. They're more present when there's a benefit, more affectionate when money's involved, more supportive when a document needs your signature. And when they don't get what they want, the calls slow down, the visits stop. Their love becomes cold. This is not love. This is transaction. And in Buddhism, we are taught that attachment to material gain is one of the greatest causes of suffering. But what's even worse, being around people who are attached to your possessions more than your presence. You must be courageous enough to face the painful truth. Some people were never really here for you. They were here for what you could give. You raised them. You helped them when they were lost. You opened your home, your heart, your hands. And now they look at you like a living bank account. Let that sink in. They love your resources, not your essence. So ask yourself the hardest question of all. If everything I own disappeared tomorrow, who would still walk with me? Who would still call just to hear my voice? Who would still sit beside me with nothing to gain and everything to give? Anyone who fails that test is someone you must learn to release. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels cruel. But Buddhism is not about blind sacrifice. It is about clarity, compassion, and truth. The Buddha never said give until you're empty. He said give without attachment. Let go with wisdom. You do not need to apologize for protecting your peace. You are under no obligation to fund someone else's lifestyle just because of shared blood. Inheritance is not a birthright, it is a gift. And gifts should be given freely, not demanded through guilt. Let the greedy go. Let them find their own path. Let them learn that love without respect and money without gratitude is emptiness in disguise. And surround yourself with those who love you for who you are, not what you own. Those who hold your hand, not your wallet. Those who honor your journey, not your estate. Because in the final years of life, the wealth that matters most is not what you leave behind. It's who you walk with in peace. 5, the spirit breaker. The most dangerous person is the one who dims your inner light. There are people in this life who don't steal your money, don't raise their voice, don't break your bones, but they break something far more delicate. They break your spirit. They don't have to insult you to hurt you. They simply dismiss your soul. You try to share something that excites you, a memory, a belief, a thought, and they wave it off. You sit in silence, enjoying a quiet moment, and they ask, "Why are you always so boring now?" You speak about meditation, simplicity, or letting go, and they scoff. You've become too soft, too strange, too distant. They don't hit you. They don't scream. But every time they speak, a little piece of your inner peace dies. And the worst part? Sometimes you don't even realize it's happening until one day you find yourself second-guessing everything you once loved. You hesitate to speak about your beliefs. You stop sharing your joy. You stop being yourself just to avoid being mocked or minimized. That is what a spirit breaker does. They slowly erode your essence, your glow, your stillness, your truth. And in old age, when your heart should be growing more peaceful, when your soul should be finally blooming, they pull you backwards into chaos, into noise, into doubt. But here is what the Buddha would say. Your mind is your garden. Guard it like a master. Let not the weeds of others root in your soil. Because what is a spirit, if not your true self? And what is the point of life's journey, if in the end, you allow someone to silence the very voice that led you through all your years? You must learn to recognize the spirit breaker, the one who tells you your silence is weakness, the one who treats your faith as foolishness, the one who laughs at your growth because they've refused to grow, the one who makes you question your worth, not directly, but through their coldness, their disinterest, their quiet contempt. And here is the hard truth. That person may be your son, your daughter, your sibling, your friend of 40 years. But if they crush your spirit, they are not safe to keep close. You see, in your younger years, you may have endured that. You may have stayed silent for peace. You may have kept those people near to avoid conflict. But now, in the sacred twilight of your life, now is the time to protect your soul like it is holy, because it is. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are here to return to your truest form, peaceful, open-hearted, aware, and whole. And that means walking away from anything or anyone who makes you feel less than that. Even if they carry your last name, even if they live in your house, even if they say they love you, because love without respect is manipulation, and presence without compassion is just noise. Surround yourself with people who see your light not as a threat, not as a weakness, but as a flame they want to sit beside in silence. Let your final years be filled not with conflict, but with clarity, not with arguments, but with alignment, not with people who try to fix you, but with those who honor exactly who you are. You are not broken, you are becoming. And the spirit breaker, however close they may be, has no place in your sacred becoming. So choose peace, choose your path, and above all, choose yourself. In the end, peace isn't found in a place. It's found in the people you allow into your life and the ones you finally let go of. You've spent a lifetime giving, carrying, forgiving. But these final chapters, they belong to you. You don't owe anyone your energy. You don't owe anyone your silence. You owe yourself peace. Let go of the ones who break your spirit. Love them from a distance if you must, but never invite chaos to dine at the table of your stillness. The Buddha didn't teach us to suffer in silence. He taught us to awaken and to walk away from anything that disturbs the soul. So may you walk lightly, speak truthfully, and choose people who choose your peace over their pride. You are not too old to change the energy around you. You are just old enough to finally protect it.